Happy hour, everybody. It's Tropical Talk Radio. Grab your drink of choice. We've got ours. So far today, we've braved rain, thunder, an earthquake, apparently. I don't think a podcast could hurt.
Yeah, buddy, you've downloaded Tropical Talk Radio, where we talk about all things entrepreneurship, travel, and lifestyle. If you're interested in more about this program, check out TropicalMBA.com. And if you sign up for our mailing list, I will personally send you 50 free podcast episodes that take you along on our journey and expose the insider story on how we started a $1 million honest-to-goodness product business while we traveled the globe.
All right, guys, we're here with Ben from OnTheRack.com, John McIntyre from TropicalMBA.com, and DropDeadCopy.com. Recently, John is the man behind the plan at TropicalMBA.com. He's the one who launched the TMBA crash course. If you haven't yet seen it, it increased our opt-in rate by, what's the percentage, Johnny?
257%.
That's not bad. We're going to get to that, but first, I know I said we'd get away from internships at the Tropical MBA, so I'm again exposed as a liar.
So, of course, we're going to launch 2 more.
No more future talk. 3 more.
Yeah.
It's actually
3 more.
Yeah, it gets worse.
Oh.
No more future talk on the blog. We've got 3 opportunities coming down the pike, but one is similar to the one that you have been enjoying, and I say enjoying, for the last 8 months.
10 months.
10 months.
Yeah.
It's almost coming up on a year. How's your time here been in the Philippines?
First of all, have you left the island since you've been here? I left maybe 5 times, 6 times. It's been amazing. Fantastic.
Well, what was your, 1 year ago, you were just coming across the Tropical MBA, reading these jerk-offs, writing blog posts, and then you get on an airplane. What was your expectation versus the reality of the situation?
It was, I came here and I felt like the exact thing I wanted to be doing. I came back from overseas to Sydney. I was in an office job. I was bored out of my brains, wasting time at work. Started listening to the podcast and knew that I wanted to be somewhere that wasn't an office, and preferably in the tropics where it's warm. So when I came here, I was just rolling with the punches. It was exactly where I wanted to be.
And so if there's people listening to this podcast right now, we're probably going to post it up on the blog next week, Ian, if we get around to it.
Right.
Probably around Tuesday. Who's the ideal person to come to have an opportunity like this here at in Puerto Galera?
I think it's the best person this is for is someone who wants to make this lifestyle happen for themselves. So it's not, you can't just kind of want it. This has to be the thing that they want to be doing. They want to live on an island. They want to make it work. They want to deal with distractions that come with living on a tropical island. They really want to do it. This whole lifestyle business, lifestyle design thing, that's really what they want to do. It's not just a let's do this for 3 months thing. This is a life choice.
You've made an incredible amount of progress in the last 10 months, and we've started to do a lot of work together, so yeah. I couldn't be impressed more. And in fact, you gave a few presentations here at the TMBA. Yeah. Ben, for a young kid doing these presentations, not bad, huh?
I was knocked out, man. It was unbelievable. The skill, the slides, what you got going on. I've worked with a lot of people like you, professionals who have studied for years to sort of get the knowledge that you have. Just knocked it out of the park, man. I'm really impressed.
So Ben, what do you think about Puerto Galera? What's your first impressions coming here? And
I loved it. I've been blown away. It's good to get out of the bubble of that corporate existence that you're in as well, John, and just see life on the other side of the world. Well, it's not quite the other side of the world coming from Australia, but it's the other side of reality, I tell you. Right. So it's good. You need these wake-up calls now and then to see how sweet you got it back home, and and just get that perspective on the world, and that sort of really opens your mind up, which is a great position to be in when you're here trying to learn and get the most out of this course.
Yeah. Well, speaking of learning, we're doing a cooking class with Ben in a couple nights. I'm pumped about that, man. Add into the program. I love it. All right, so let's talk about how, we're absolutely blowing up this mailing list. So here's the pain point. And if you're a blogger out there, if you're a content marketer, I can feel you. You're probably procrastinating on your autoresponder. Because I basically knew that I needed, the number one regret of bloggers is I didn't focus enough on my mailing list. Because as a blogger, we're having a hard enough time just putting out blog posts every week, let alone this 40-hour momentous task of providing extra content to our mailing list. So how do we solve this problem, number one? Number two, everybody knows the money's in the list. This is the best way. This is the asset that we can walk with if our Google rankings go away. We at least have that list. And so we decided to take it seriously, to cultivate it, and that's why we got you involved. And as a professional in our career, like, we haven't hired a lot of consultants. You were really like one of the first like professional consultants that we brought in and just paid money and said do something, and it was a pretty awesome experience. I'm pretty tickled pink. I'm looking for new opportunities because like now we don't have to hire another jerk to be on our team. You know what I mean?
That's right.
It's like pay the jerk money and say go away.
It's like hiring a sniper. You know?
Yeah, man.
You just get the job done. So first of all, John, what is an autoresponder?
An autoresponder is basically a series of emails that's automatically sent out. So someone signs up and they get automatically responded to with a series of 5 emails, 10 emails, or something like that over a course of 2 weeks, 1 month, that type of thing.
All right, so let's talk about sort of the 6. We have 6 points here, the things that we've implemented.
Points.
All right, so let's start with number 1.
Don't ask for the opt-in.
All right, so this is our counterintuitive point. Don't try to sleep with me on the first date.
Absolutely.
Where'd you get this idea?
I think it starts with understanding where the target's coming from. Like, most people who are landing on your page aren't ready to sign up on your list yet.
Right.
So you need to build a case for getting them to sign up, and providing a shiny graphic of your latest ebook isn't enough to cut it for most people.
How about that annoying pop-up box that comes up in front of me? Is that a good place?
That can work. It depends on the market, the industry. It depends how familiar people are with pop-ups.
Okay.
Basically.
A lot of it is like, us, bloggers who are trying to get traction, we would emulate people that have a huge brand. And if you have a huge brand, it's like, hey, I slapped together a 5 points ebook. People are going to download that anyway.
Yeah.
But if you're a nobody, nobody's going to want to give you their email address. I don't want to give nobody my email address. I'll give Pat Flynn my email address no matter what.
Yeah.
I'll give Pat Flynn $5 if you just ask. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if you're not Pat Flynn yet, I'm not going to be so willing to give you my email address, even if you got the next ebook. So what we did was we created sort of an experience, an offer for an experience, which is take the Tropical MBA crash course, and you click it, so it's not sleeping with them on the first date. Then what happens?
Okay, so you click on this the little banner. So build momentum by getting a click first, and then the opt-in. But rather than having the opt-in form at the top of the page, which is what most internet marketers do, we put the opt-in form at the bottom of the page after probably 800 to 1,000 words of content. And the reason for this is that most people who've clicked this banner, they're not ready to opt in. Even once they get onto that page, they're not convinced yet. Because it really depends on the scale. Like Pat Flynn, you'll sign up straight away. But someone else, you're going to need to get convinced. So we added 1,000 words of content explaining what the crash course was about and the value that they were going to get if they signed up.
It's like the salesman leading you into the dealership, right? Showing you the new Hyundai, and before you can even sit in it, asking you to sign under the dotted line, right?
Absolutely.
You haven't revved the engine up, you haven't opened the door.
Well, and the difference there, it's even better because you're sitting in a Hyundai, something you at least know about. Right. But when they come to the freaking Tropical MBA, they're like, I don't even care about this coconut guy. You know what I'm saying? But and I think people underestimate the power of body of work. I mean, that's why blogging is so powerful, because you're putting out work and you're building trust by, like, week after week, people are listening to you and reading your stuff. Same thing with the autoresponder. If you're going to ultimately sell to your list, you don't want to get people on that list and then 3 months later it's like super launch mode. You know what I mean? Like, you want to have that kind of relationship built up to that body of work as well. And that's why we were so concerned about, we were like letting our mailing list down. We weren't giving them anything of value.
That's right.
That's right.
But now we're
because
planning
eventually
cool.
we want to mega launch to them. That's the whole plan, man. I don't want it to be awkward when I'm like, buy my $10,000 premium coaching. It's coming. It's coming, people. You know it's coming. All right, what's number 2?
Number 2, generate ideas from existing content.
All right.
So rather than trying to create or think that you have to create 10 emails, which is going to take a long time, a shit ton of time to create, right?
Yeah.
You can just take the content that you already have. This could be blog posts or podcasts, anything that you have used to provide value in the past. You can turn into an email autoresponder, some type of course, something like that.
2 things. So one is, what did we do? We took our existing podcasts, right, and then we pushed those out to our customers.
Yeah. So you guys were doing 50 free podcast episodes when you signed up, but rather than just give them to people in one go, which we're still doing, we're actually doing a podcast every 3 days right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Over a course of 10 days, 1 month, which is bundled as the Tropical MBA crash course.
Right.
What if you don't have anything? What if you don't have any podcasts? What if you don't have any ebooks?
There are a few ways you could do it. So you could, the main way, if you don't have anything, if you don't have a blog, you don't have a podcast, you don't have anything at all, main way is to provide value to whoever's signing up. So think about why they're signing up to the list in the first place, which is going to do with your offer, and then think about how you can add value to their lives. This will be through things like YouTube videos or resources that you can offer them. And if you really want it, it's going to take you 1 hour, 2 hours to write out an article or two.
Yeah.
John, you're implying that I actually have to know something about my customers?
I'm not that interested. I think you should just link to Paul Graham. That's
There you
the
go.
plan. Everybody's happy when you link to Paul Graham. That's a very fascinating article you just linked to. All right, what's the number 3 point?
Number 3, so use your voice or their voice. So when we did the Tropical MBA autoresponder, the crash course, what I tried to do was take Dan's voice and his corny jokes throughout the blog post.
They are corny.
And basically,
You guys will learn someday. You'll evolve into this style of humor.
and
This is what I love about what you did, because you plagiarized me. You know, the narcissist within me, it just absolutely was elated to see the copy come back. And this is the reason that I didn't hire anybody to do my autoresponder for the longest time. I thought nobody can write, it's going to look lame. It's going to. I challenge you, dear audience, sign up for this Tropical MBA crash course. This is a science experiment, and ask yourself if it sounds like me. It does.
It does.
He's actually like ripping off my own.
Now I
best
question
stuff.
whether John is writing me emails.
I question whether I need
From
to
you.
be here. Yeah, absolutely. All right, what's the next point? Number 4.
Number 4, create an experience. Don't just offer an ebook.
I'm sick of ebooks. You know why? Because I got to read them. I don't want to read another friggin' book from some nobody unless you got some really ridiculously unique experience. 3 explosive ways to blow up your niche site. I'm done with reading books about that stuff. Bring me into an experience that I can have fun with. How about a cool course that I can experience over the course of 2 weeks? That to me sounds cooler. It's not a burden. I'm sick of getting more crap that I got to consume. I want to have an experience. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
I'm in with that.
All right. I'm hearing no objections.
Cool.
Think about not sending me another ebook from a no-name author. Think about what people are looking for and maybe give them that experience.
YouTube videos of cats, perhaps.
I love cats.
Everyone loves cats.
Number 5.
Number 5, add value first. Don't sell. So most people, what they try and do is they have an autoresponder, someone signs up, and they start sending them affiliate offers or offers to their own information products, whatever they're selling, straight away. And this is a really bad tactic because most people who sign up to your email list, they don't have a relationship with you yet. And they just gave you their phone number or their email address.
Yeah.
So again, don't sleep with me on the first date.
Exactly.
Play a little long ball. Play a little hard to get, maybe.
Have some small talk, you know.
If your target audience is Ian, he'll definitely jump into the sack with you on the first night. But anybody
easy.
else?
Yeah.
Number 6.
Number 6, keep the list warm. So at the end of the autoresponder sequence, you don't want to let the list go cold. So you might have 2 weeks or 1 month of emails queued up. At the end of that month, you don't just want to let the list go dead. Because in 6 months, when you're doing that mega launch, it's not going to work if no one's heard from you for 6 months. So you want to basically have an email that's going out every 2 weeks or every month just to keep in touch. Keep on their radar. The same way you keep in touch with a friend, a long-lost friend. You want to stay on their radar. Just say, hey, how you going every now and then.
So one of the things that you had so much more insight today during your presentation than you've led on to right now, but one of the cool things that you mentioned today about this was like the cliffhanger. So you're watching season 5 of Lost or whatever, and then they leave you, and then you got to watch the next season, right?
Yeah. So you can actually use this concept of open loops, which is just an NLP concept. They use it in TV shows like Lost. They use it in movies, in books. If you've read The Hunger Games, you know how you read chapter after chapter after chapter.
That book was
because
the bomb.
of the open loops.
I read 3 books straight away, man.
Yeah,
They were doing
same.
some autoresponder shit in there. Serious shit.
So you can use this concept in your emails. You can open a loop in email 1 and say something like, also I want to tell you a story about Joe, how he made a ton of money last week, but I'll tell you about that next email. And then
Right.
so what that's doing is creating a compelling reason for someone to open the next email. And I've heard of people doing this where they'll actually get someone emailing them later to say, oh, I think I missed an email. Can you resend it, please?
Right.
So people actually like it so much that they don't like missing emails anymore.
Well, one of the coolest things about the responder that you set up for the TMBA is that there's a few where you ask for, I think you send them out on maybe Fridays, and you say, like, what are you going to be doing this weekend to grow your business or whatever. I get emails from that all the time. It's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I respond to everybody, and it's a really great way where, you know, I would love to send that email anyway. Like, my best self would send that email out to my readers.
Yeah.
And when they write back to me, I love that. And then I'm prompted to say thanks, like that's a great idea, or I give them feedback, or just sort of connect them with somebody in the network or whatever. So that's a really cool element as well.
Yeah.
I mean, these are real people. Unless you're some mega marketer, you got a couple thousand people on your list, you're capable of responding to everybody.
Absolutely.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
All right, so this is also a good case study on how you productize a service. Like, because you're bootstrapping a new business, dropdeadcopy.com. We've paid you a lot of money in the last few months and seen some really ridiculous results. So let's talk about, I'm calling it the McIntyre method, because it is unique, the way that you're pulling this stuff together. Let's talk about a package that you could pull together for the listeners at a ridiculous price. If they want to, because a lot of people are making money from their content marketing. You said today that it took you 20 to 40 hours to set up this Tropical MBA crash course. You're solely focused on that. For somebody like me, I can't take a week off to write an autoresponder. I can't afford a week. That's 40 hours of good glucose too. That's not like 40 hours of, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got a lot of shit to do. So, and I know a lot of listeners do too. Let's talk about the McIntyre method, what the productized service is. I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to pigeonhole you in that ridiculous name.
McIntyre method.
No, man, I'm loving it. I'm taking the McIntyre method back to Melbourne.
Yeah. Ben's hitting the streets, man. Evangelism. Here we go. Okay, so
cool.
What is the service? What are we going to do at Drop Dead Copy for the listeners of the podcast?
Okay, so we're going to do the same thing that we did for Tropical MBA. So what that means, though, in terms of deliverables, is you got, so number one is going to be like a storyline or concept development. So this could be a crash course if you already have information that you're trying to teach people. It could be just a story about the ideal customer. Let's call him Jim or Sally, and Sally goes through a transformation from where she is now to where she wants to be, and you're the connector that makes her get there. There are a number of ways we can do this. So it starts with that, and then we're going to leverage current content to build out the autoresponder. So like we did with Dan's and Ian's, we took the podcast and did it over a course of 10 emails. So we're going to take
I can translate this for the very busy entrepreneurs. You call John for 30 minutes, and he does a bunch of crap for you that would take you a month otherwise. Right? Because that was the cool part, is I got on the phone with you for 30 minutes, and I was like, look, I don't want to be a jerk salesman. I have a brand, and I don't want to be a jerk. I want to still be who I am.
Yeah.
But I want to have this autoresponder stuff, and I want it to be meaningful. You went into the McIntyre workshop and came back out with this beautiful program. How many emails is it?
10.
It's 10 emails. It's the badge on the side of the site. It's the squeeze page with 1,000 words that brings you into the experience with the testimonials and everything. And do you have the warmer emails on there too?
Yeah, we'll have 4 following emails every 2 weeks, so another 2 months.
All right, what's the price on all of that?
$497.
$497. That is a bootstrappingly delicious price. If you're listening to this podcast, I would guess 4 weeks into the future, the price won't be $497 anymore. You won't be able to sustain it.
No.
It's a lot of work.
John, I think we got another project for you. I haven't told you this yet, but we got this new product. It's like $2,000. If I can just sell one of those products off this autoresponder series,
Sure.
it's going to make up the...
You shouldn't focus on bloggers, right? You should focus on these real estate agents.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be making up businesses just to use this system, I reckon.
The McIntyre method. You've been McIntyred.
Poor
All right.
John.
Cool.
He's like, I came up with a good name, guys. It's called Drop Dead.
All right, but this is Tropical Talk Radio, so we bring the inside stuff. And you're a Tropical MBA alum, which means I'm going to offer this on behalf of you. If anybody has copywriting questions, or if you want John to take a look at what you're doing in terms of your squeeze page, your autoresponder, or your sales letter, just write him an email. Is your email John? What's your email?
John at dropdeadcopy.
John at dropdeadcopy.com. He'll help you out for free because he's part of the Tropical MBA family. Looking to help everybody grow a better business. Well, John, it's going to be sad when you leave, but it's going to be sweet to see you at the Bangkok meetup.
I can't wait.
And we're both going to Chiang Mai afterwards, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, cheers, man, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
That ended kind of abruptly, didn't it?
Yeah. I don't think we were all ready for that. John, thanks for being here. All right, this is Tropical Talk Radio.
This is Tropical Talk Radio.
Signing off. Not so abruptly.
Au revoir.
Hey everybody, thanks for listening. Don't be shy. We've got a mailing list. Check it out at tropicalmba.com. Get yourself signed up, and we'll keep you up to date on everything we do, plus give you those 50 free podcast episodes. If you want to say, hey, check me out on Twitter at TropicalMBA. We'll see you soon.